Yo, it's Andrew.
And this is Brent from Crown the Empire, and you're watching AMBY.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia from AMBY, and I would like to welcome you to our interview with Crown the Empire. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing today?
Taking it easy, living the dream.
We're chilling, as I believe you were
In
saying
Canada,
before.
yeah, we try to look as relaxed as I can. Do I look relaxed? I feel like
You look pretty. I feel like I'm not as relaxed.
I feel like I should like.
There we go. Get into the couch.
I have the armrest.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's nice. It's a good spot to have.
As long as I have the armrest, I'm good.
But everything's good. Yes, we're having a
glad
good
to hear
time
it.
in Canada, eating food, and here in a second we picked up some greenery from a couple doors down. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, we're just kicking it.
Sounds like a pretty good day so
Let's get
far.
my aloe vera. Yes, I got some bad sunburn.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to kick things off by diving right into Retrograde. Now that it's been out for a few months, how are you feeling about this record?
Great so far. It felt like an ambitious thing going into it, and like we were. There's obviously like some apprehension to like changing your sound or wanting to kind of experiment in a new direction, and there's always gonna be. Our problem was we cared too much about what people were saying on the internet, and I stopped reading YouTube comments like 2 years ago, and it's like changed my whole perspective. It's hard for people to kind of put everything into this one thing, and then people just shit all over it with and it doesn't matter who you are on any scale. Justin Bieber, look at Bieber's top comment, and it's guarantee you some insult. Like, it doesn't matter on what scale, you're always gonna get shit for doing something different. So knowing that and accepting that going into the album, we were just like, this is for us and figuring out who we want to be as a band. And so we were just like, fuck it, YOLO swag 3000. We're gonna make this album and do what we wanted. And it was really great. It's been received really well. A lot of people are coming on this tour, and playing it for them for the first time is always really exciting. Getting the vibe, seeing what works live and what doesn't. We've been kind of changing up the set and figuring out what works, but we got it on lock right now. Yeah.
I really dig the overall space theme that's on this album.
Oh, yeah.
I like how it's featured on the tour poster. You have the astronaut in the hologram video. Even the front cover kind of looks like a distorted world. So how did that all come into play?
Well, I guess we had the post-apocalyptic theme throughout the last album, and we were influenced by other forms of media, not just music. We talked about in interviews years ago about Elysium and stuff, movies like that in that post-apocalyptic world, and that was kind of the influence for the writing there. And with Retrograde, I think it came more with Stanley Kubrick was the first one. That's what actually an Easter egg. SK68 stands for Stanley Kubrick, and 1968 is when Space Odyssey came out. It was a big just visual influence on the album, and it kind of inspired a song, the first song, Are You Coming With Me, as well. And just to take that kind of external influence, I think, on Retrograde, and how these songs would look and how they would sound, and like how we had the hologram idea in our heads when like we were like hearing the song initially. So I think that was really a cool and unique part about this album too.
Yeah. Every song we had, we looked at it. We would have like this huge compilation of just these weird space photos, and it was just easier to write to a visual than it was to just kind of come up with something on the spot. And we didn't. That's why a lot of it isn't directly about space. We're not writing songs about just like traveling through the fucking. It's not. It's not about space travel. We used spaces as kind of a medium, and the space race was a huge thing that was part of the the 60s, and a lot of the culture that we were kind of the ethos, the mindset of like the young liberal radical kids that we were that was happening at the time, the pre-Trump and all that stuff going on in the U.S. kind of paralleled with a lot of the things that people were fighting for in the 60s, and so it just kind of went hand in hand with the culture and the vibe, and it fell into place. It was awesome.
Do you have the spaceman guy with you here in Toronto today?
The giant blow-up space guy? Yeah, we have two of them.
You have two?
Oh, yeah.
Those were the small ones. When we were like designing the production we initially had it on Warped Tour right after Retrograde dropped on Warped Tour, and they're like, we're getting 10-foot astronauts, and we're like, you guys are just too big. Our crew was just like, oh god, we're having to deal with these. And like, those are the small ones. I think they're 25 foot.
Oh my gosh,
massive.
Like the alternative size one.
I'm so happy they're here in Toronto. I didn't know if you'd bring them across the border or not. I'm so pumped.
I'm happy we did.
Oh yeah, they deflate. They get pretty small.
Oh great.
Yeah, it's a little tiny bag.
I don't know why I envision like some astronaut just chilling in the seat driving through the border.
Or like you put them on top of the bus, like you're like shoving them just so they're still inflated.
Yeah.
My favorite was watching them deflate. It just looked like they're dying. It's like, yeah.
Well, track I'm probably digging the most right now is The Fear Is Real from the album, because it's definitely the most out there thing on there. It's very eerie, very futuristic, and I know cinematic landscapes are very big for you guys. So how did that come into play, that song?
That one was so fun to make. Rise was really stoked on this album because of how well the last one was received and how long we were able to tour off of it. So they were just like, we're gonna put a lot more money into this. And so what we did was like, okay, we're gonna buy more toys with it. We bought a lot of programs that could make these textures and these sounds, and we knew we had an idea of the song, The Fear. Should I explain what The Fear is?
Please do.
Can I talk about it?
Yeah.
Is it? I mean,
the music. Just before you do, the whole I guess the musical influence of it was very 9 Inch Nails and very simplistic. And we do perform it live, and we're performing it live tonight. And that was the whole idea. It wasn't supposed to be an electronic song. We just wrote it on a computer. We wrote it as a performance song, but the subject matter behind The Fear.
It was. I'll talk about our producer. Our producer Drew had just started smoking weed. He just moved out to LA from North Carolina. Is really talented. Works for Wizard Blood. Check him out. They did a bunch of bands. We had just started smoking weed and moved to LA, and we had already been doing it a lot. And there's a certain point you get with California weed where
or edibles.
And that's exactly what happened. There were these little gummy bears, and he just wasn't used to it, and so he ate them and freaked out, like
super
just
paranoia.
Walked to the studio, like hung out with Brendan for the whole day, just freaking out, like I was like, I feel like I need someone here or I'm gonna lose my mind. And the fear is just like the overwhelming, like uncomfortable feeling of being super fucking stoned. Too high. And so it starts off.
High, you have the fear.
You get the fear, yeah, and you're like uncomfortable. You can't talk to anybody. You're like inner monologue is going. You're talking to yourself. So the song starts out with how.
It's an evolution of the fear.
Yeah, like it starts out like things are cool, things are getting weird, and then things are really weird.
I wondered where that came from.
Yeah. No, it was the whole trip. Background. It was a whole 8-hour thing that was going down.
So it's like it's the high, because I mean, the THC has similar psychoactive effects as acid does, similar ones, even though it's in a different category of drug.
Yeah.
So it's
who would have thought some gummy bears would just ruin your whole life?
So instead of writing like a acid trip song, we wrote a marijuana trip song.
Yeah.
I guess.
Do either of you have any fears?
Any fears?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say them because I'm always
someone's gonna use it to your disadvantage.
I'm just gonna play into it. So yeah, I'm afraid of spiders, even though I'm not. I'll kill a spider right now. But no, there are like certain things I'm scared of.
One that I was working on getting over, I'm getting better at. You saw me cross the street today. I was crossing the street, like that's not at a crosswalk. I just have like this anxiety because I had this friend who got hit by a car. He didn't die, but I had 2 friends that got hit by the same car, and it was totally my fault because I crossed the street. Like I was like, why don't we just cross here? We don't have to go to the crosswalk. I'm like, oh, totally. Just took off running, and this old lady in a Buick comes by and broke their knees. I just remember watching it happen. Completely my fault. I just hadn't started running yet. So ever since then, I've had this like phobia, this like irrational fear of crossing the street. But now I'm better at it. I jaywalk all the time. I did it in Tokyo too, where it's like super busy, breaking the law everywhere.
Yeah.
If everyone's in the same mindset and coordinated, it's always when someone's like no, and they hesitate, and then they go at the last moment, and that's when that's the mistake. It was the hesitation. It wasn't the initial decision. I don't think by any.
Broken bones everywhere. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Those are some pretty in-depth fears.
I know. I knew exactly which one I was gonna say.
All mine have to be animal related. If they have like an ability
snakes?
that I don't have.
Snakes.
And like, snakes can slither, and they're very. Besides that, they're pure serpents, and they're like naturally hated by humankind.
Right. But, they give you the heebie-jeebies.
But like even like there was at my old house, apparently these sparrows had a nest of eggs, and they protect that nest. So if you go outside, I would go to the car or anything, they would just dart at me. And they have the power of flight, which I also don't, which I do not possess. And they also have they're a lot quicker, and I just like so I don't like it. I didn't like it at all. I just stayed. My dad would always joke with me. He goes, "See how long you can go out and stand in them."
That is hilarious.
I don't understand it.
That's how I know you're not from Texas, because the quickest solution is we have the power of BB guns.
Oh yeah, my mom wouldn't let that happen. So we put up these fake owls.
It worked?
Yes, but then we had like an owl on every corner of our house. So it's just like,
what's going on here?
And you have to explain it all the time. It's just like Yeah, my mom collects owls.
Before this interview, I went on a little journey through your tweets on your personal pages.
Oh, great.
And I came across some really good ones. I want to know the story behind.
Oh, yikes.
This is
Oh,
cool.
yikes.
Okay.
All right, so Andy, yours was, this song reminds me of like LSD and a vanilla cake with strawberry icing.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was tweeting you thinking you were high. What the hell were you talking about?
Yes, I was high, but it wasn't a quote from me. It was from someone else listening to, what was it? You remember what we were listening to? It was something weird. It might have been something ignorant, like Riff Raff or something.
You have to tell me when this was.
Yeah, the off day. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, this was recent.
Yeah, it was like within...
Read it one more time for me.
Okay.
This song is like LSD, or this song reminds me of LSD and pink icing on vanilla cake.
I don't know. I had no idea. We listened to a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, we've been throwing on like just radio stations on our like playlists on our Spotify or on our Apple Music and just letting it rip and finding weird stuff. So we would just talk about songs. But yeah, that was one.
It was an accurate description.
It's a good one, yeah.
And Brent, the one that I have from you is, yes, I know I'm the only one not verified on Instagram, but then you got verified. So would the guys make fun of you a lot for that prior?
Well, kind of. I knew when I got it, I was like, everyone was gonna think they were like, oh, he finally got it. He's all stoked on it. And I did make a post about.
You tweeted about it twice.
But
I did. I was
yeah,
stoked.
But I was more.
I didn't make funny for it.
I was more.
I would
logical.
never make
Like,
funny.
I'm like, am I getting kicked out? What's going on here? Why? Like, what? What's
Why don't I
happening?
have the blue tick?
Yeah, like what? Did I do something wrong? Like, am I not popular enough or something? I don't know. I did. It was like, because I'm not very avid on social media, so like I'm the one person not to care about it. So I thought that might have been it. Where like he doesn't tweet enough. He's
Damn.
not active enough. And I was
No,
just like,
somebody fucked up the paperwork.
It got fixed a lot quicker.
Do you feel good
than
now?
I thought it was going to. Yes.
You feel redeemed?
Yeah.
I feel I almost went on strike. I was like, I'm not gonna post a picture until I'm verified.
Oh my god.
That's probably the opposite of what you'd want to do.
I
Because if you don't
know.
post, they'd be
Yeah.
like, why are we going to verify this guy?
Yeah, exactly. So thank God it didn't work out like that.
Well, to wrap things up, I want to end it on the fans. Is there anything you want to leave with all of them who'll be viewing our interview?
Come out and see us if you haven't. Be on the lookout. We've got a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. A lot of stuff behind the scenes in the works. And we love you guys. Go with Christ. I'm just kidding. I don't want to say that.
No, I know. We're just like, yeah, we're always putting out content, even though it's like new album just came out. We're already like halfway through, like talking about what the second one could possibly, or the next one could possibly be.
Yeah, we got some ideas going. But be on the lookout. We'll be around. And we love y'all.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging
Thanks,
back and
Thanks,
chilling.
Alicia. Yeah, it's great kicking it.
It's my pleasure, and remember, to everybody viewing, you can visit us at musicblogger.com for all exclusive interviews, features, videos, and so much more with your favorite bands. See you next time.